Welcome back, everybody, to the Intel Extreme Masters Shanghai 2013. It is time for the final decider of Group C. Who is moving on to day 2 or day 3 tomorrow in Group C? Who is going to the round of 8 between Jaedong and MC? This has to be a good one.
It is a good one, but also kind of sad as well, because I don't want to see either of these players go home, but the show must go on. Someone has to lose, someone has to win. Such is the nature of StarCraft. And we are going to get straight into the game, guys. It is going to be on Belshir by the looks of it.
Yeah, Belshir Vestige is the map, the first map between these two players. Can the Tyrant do it, or can the Obama toss? It is two players who have their differences and weaknesses, but they still have a general weakness. Of course, MC isn't playing as strong as he used to, and Jaedong's weaker against Protoss players, but does that previous game against Hero, is that a warm-up, I ask you, Mignon? Was that a warm-up for him to do it?
Well, you know what? If you're going to learn anything from a ZVP playing it against Hero, I think that that's the player that you'd learn from. He's going to identify a lot of his mistakes that he's made from his last game, and, you know, Jaedong is amazing, but he did make mistakes, and he will identify them. He will put them to bed. He'll put them to bed. But will it be in time to deal with MC, who is an aggressive and a crazy Protoss?
All right, so up here in the top left, we do have Evil Genius's Jaedong, and he will be going up against SK Gaming's MC. Down here is the red Protoss player. A best of 3 to determine it. But already, we see an interesting development within this series. We have a very early extractor and an early spawning pool. Jaedong switching things up here. He looks like he's going to be going for very early Zergling speed, but MC with an incredibly early scout already picking up this intel.
So he knows this could be Speedling Expand or just straight Speedling.
Yeah, look, he just throws down a Forge.
Yep, that's right.
He throws down the Forge, and then all that he needs to really think about now, if I'm MC, if I'm in MC's shoes, I'm like, all right, JD, all right, EGJD, what do you think you're doing here as the probe sees everything? And all that I'm doing as MC is you very easily just get the Nexus down, get a cannon, and focus on the wall off, focus on getting the cannon down, and most importantly of all of those things, follow up scout. Need to know, is it a Roach Warren down? Is it even Zergling speed? Is it Zergling speed and then cancel into Roach Warren? There's a lot of different things. Is it a Baneling bus? Is it mass Zerglings? Whatever it is, it could be very, very aggressive here, and MC needs to make sure that he knows what one it is, when it is, how it's coming, and everything.
Absolutely. And there's the scout from Jaedong seeing this wall. His heart probably sinking a little bit because it already looks like MC more than prepared for the Speedlings that he had planned for him. As, you know, obviously going to be a lot more effective against a Gateway Expand. But, yeah, MC a little bit too good, a little bit too G.
All right, well, we'll see what Jaedong has up his sleeves here. Is it only just for Zergling speed and that alone? Look, MC's trying to get back in. He pokes in. He sees, all right, still, only 100 gasp in mind. Okay.
Yeah, speed.
I don't need to worry about, you know, a Baneling bust, Roach Warren play, anything crazy.
Yep.
So now he knows that it could be still mass Zerglings, which means he needs to focus on maybe even leaving a probe in there once the Cybercore's done before Zealots may. Just make sure that no Lings can run by.
Or are on the way, Apollo. No, Jaedong deciding that they need to split up and take the towers instead.
What is he doing with this lava that just popped, though? Okay, drones. It is drones.
Okay.
It is drones.
Okay. So this is actually a really, really, really old ZVP opener to go Speedling Expand. And now Jaedong is forced in this situation where you make your 4 Lings, take the towers, and then you got your other 2 to scout around and maybe sit by the ramp and see what's happening with your, you know, your Protoss opponent.
Yeah, and Jaedong's hurt his economy a little bit by doing this.
He has.
But he also hides
Why people stop doing
everything.
it.
So even though he hurts himself, MC is now leaving a probe there that isn't mining.
Yep.
You know, if he sees these Lings, he may even freak out and build a second cannon. I don't know. You know, anything's possible from this position. But most importantly, Jaedong now completely denies any form of information until a sentry's down, hallucinated Phoenix, until an observer's rushed out, a Phoenix itself is rushed out, and he's chosen to do with that information that's now been hidden away to throw down a really, really fast layer. I'm not even sure what this is for. Is it for maybe a Nidus Worm? Is it for a really super fast infestation pit for Swarm host? Like, is it an all-in? Is this... I don't know. There's many options for him to choose from.
I feel like where Jaedong is, I think he might try and go for something a little bit insane.
Like,
and I feel like
Spire or
possibly Nidus. I'm feeling Nidus.
Nidus?
Yeah, I'm feeling it.
Well, look at this. There's already a Stalker patrolling. There's a Stargate coming down. The Stargate is the best defensive structure of all. Phoenixes can deny overlords. They scout faster. It's a Hydra Den. Really fast Hydra Den.
Ling Hydra. Very, very strong against Gateway. And pretty good against Stargate as well. So.
All right. What... trying to figure out. A third gas has been thrown down. The problem is Hydras lack mobility until they get their upgrades. Hydralisk speed is an expensive upgrade. It's going to cut into his Hydralisk count. But Jaedong is so low in drones, 32 drones.
Wow.
It's like an old school, you know, I guess back in the days it was called a 3-hatch bus because it was 3 hatches, not off 2.
Yep.
But a very, very fast Hydralisk play. Hydralisk speed being made. Nidus Worm coming in.
Wow.
I was going to say, until Hydralisk speed is done, mobility is the big problem.
And that's
Nidus Worm is no mobility.
That's right.
Well, at least you were half right, weren't you, with your Nidus Worm
Half
prediction?
right. I thought Nidus before the Hydras actually fought straight up Speedlings into the Nidus.
Even if he doesn't have an Overlord in position, the Lynx can just move back in the Nidus Worm's just there.
That's right.
Doesn't matter if he loses this. Doesn't matter about that. MC has no idea. The Nidus Worm's cancelled.
Is Jaedong just freaking out a little bit?
I think he wanted to try get it in the main base. I wonder why he didn't try to put it down outside the natural here. I guess
that Overlord going down completely.
Yeah, I thought he didn't care. I thought he was just going to do it anyway.
Okay.
But now what does he do? He sits back on 2 base.
He can't
no
take
drones,
a third.
no third.
That's right. The Viper's gone.
Jaedong, what are you trying to do?
Oh my God. Yeah, the Void Raid just took out that drone, and now all of a sudden, Jaedong is in a really awkward spot.
He's in a terrible position.
Since the beginning of the game, I feel like Jaedong's been in an awkward spot, in an awkward game. It's just been a little bit hard for him this time.
And now he has to gamble by moving across the map. He doesn't know what his opponent has. He doesn't know exactly. He obviously knows there's a couple of air units, but if Jaedong overcommits and goes across the halfway line, what's to stop Stalkers chasing him down and beating him up?
Hydra speed won't even finish by the time he gets there. Yeah, he's going to retreat. Okay.
Yeah, this is rough here for Jaedong.
He's second guessing a lot at the moment. He's got two hatcheries, getting an infestation pit and an Evo chamber. He's trying to pull something together here, but MC in the meantime has been macroing up without a single care in the world, really.
MC builds a robotics bay, takes a third, and says, "All right, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do?"
And there's the Colossus stand going down, which means splash damage. The Hydra's going to be, you know.
War Prism, fantastic actually there, because what he's saying is, all right, the one thing you could do is try to push across the map with Hydras. Sure, you've got Hydra speed and Hydra range, but what happens if I warp in a bunch of crap in your main base as you come across the map with everything you've got? What are you going to do?
Swarm hosts, apparently. Swarm hosts, decision here from Jaedong.
I don't think this is the best start for Jaedong in this series, is it? Not the best start.
Yeah, I still, I stand by. I feel like he's been a little bit awkward in this game, which is a little bit surprising because it is Jaedong. So, this high caliber, you don't expect mistake after mistake in this game, but it is still Jaedong, and I fully believe that he can pull something out of nothing here. If anyone's going to do it, it'll be him.
All right, well, let's see if he can do that. Something, that special thing needs to come out here from Jaedong if he wants to make it through to the next stage of this tournament. Because MC is a very difficult player to play against.
Yeah, he definitely needs something. Absolutely. We got 4 Zealots coming into the main here, being warped in, and these Queens really aren't going to have much to say about that.
I mean, where are the units? They're on the other side. He doesn't really have that many units because he's been catching up with drones that he now sacrificed so early on to get the Hydras out. He doesn't have any units at this point. Only a couple of Hydras do come in. Great micro here from Jaedong. Loses a single Hydra versus that. Doesn't lose the Queen. But still.
That's a fly block. And he hasn't got any Overlords on the way either.
Look, 1,000 minerals!
Oh.
5 Overlords. Jaedong is... I think what the biggest problem here is that Jaedong's mentality is very weak. That's the only thing that makes a lot of sense here. Like he's questioning himself, like you said. His build isn't that strong. He knows he's playing from behind. He's not playing strong enough to catch up fast. And behind this, double robotics facility Colossus. What we'll end up seeing from MC is complete harassment and then be like, all right. And probably with MC to get Blink as well. It's of course going to be able to Blink, like MC gets Blink every game. Like, I'm going to come kill you now.
Yeah, when you have the micro that MC has, it's like borderline silly not to get Blink. I mean, Swarm Host is one of those units where you can do crazy stuff with them, like crazy amounts of stuff. Like any unit that spawns free units is always going to be good for you. But he doesn't have that many, and MC's already going to have Colossus on the map by the time they become a threat.
Yeah, MC's moving out now, saying, all right, I've heard him a lot. I keep supply blocking. And I would love it if MC just moved across, tried to pick off the third, and recalled back. Love it.
Taken out here, but I don't think MC cares.
Look at this. Got 4 sentries, got enough force fields. The creep spread's not that good. Would love it if you try to pick off the third. I would love it even more if he killed it. Beautiful moves if that's the case.
Ooh, Jaedong running position for his War Prism. Good deflection there from JD. Heading up to the creep highway on the way to the third. Swarm host sending the Locust, but I don't think they're going to last long enough.
Yeah, come around here and then force field in a line with the hatchery, or even try to get the ramp. Anything along those lines.
Yeah.
Can he get through though? I think that's what his plan is here.
He sees the Locust.
Yeah, right there, like in between the eggs and the ramp.
That's where he wants to be. Locust got there first though. Force fields.
Yeah, I don't like MC's going to be able to break this. The Swarm hosts are there, the Locusts are there. Good attempt though. It definitely was on the agenda for sure.
Yep.
And there's that blink. Of course it's going to be blink. It's MC, man. I've never seen MC not get blink every single game. Doesn't matter what matchup, whatever. It's blink, man.
He's about to take a 4th Nexus Apollo, and he has a bit of a worker lead, just up 6 or 7 workers. So
I mean, he hasn't quite got the army supply lead, but with the worker lead he has in all these gateways.
Oh yeah.
He's like, all right, time to take a 4th. Probably going to start my Stalker production in a minute, and probably attack with +2 blink and a bunch of Colossus here. This is, a beautiful setup from MC. Despite being behind in supply, he's absolutely in the lead in this game.
Absolutely, man. And Jaedong, like I said, if anyone can pull something from nothing, it's going to be this guy. But I mean, he's not on nothing anymore. He's starting to catch himself a little bit. He's stopped tripping over himself, and he's concentrating on getting his economy back up, which has been taking such a huge hit from his unit indecisions and cancelling of structures and whatnot in the early game.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at the production tab, we actually see Storm on the way now, which is a very scary thing, as well as Charge. That's a good call there. Charge is scary, man. It is scary with what he has at this point.
Jaedong getting a corrupt account up though with +1 attack, going to be very handy against those Colossi. But of course, as we know, it is MC. There's going to be a lot of Stalkers. They are going to have blink. It's going to come down to an engagement. If Jaedong can get a really, really, really good engagement, then he's going to get a foothold to be able to slap MC back a bit.
Yeah, he needs some cost-efficient fight, somehow, some way, if Jaedong's to get back in this game. For sure. Maybe a couple of mistakes. Maybe MC throwing away too many units with the Warp Prism.
Yeah. Ideally,
Stalkers aren't even that good against what we're seeing. So, if MC builds too many Stalkers, we know we love Stalkers, but I think MC's, doing none of the above.
He's actually getting, I think, Observer speed there.
Yeah. And that's because, obviously, Swarm Host being a big nuisance to deal with.
The Dark Shrine as well.
For harassment, man. He's setting himself up really nice. Really active play by MC. He's been everywhere, all over the map all game long. Oh, Colossus.
Oh, getting a little bit bold there. I think the Corruptors caught him by surprise. He didn't expect there to be that many. Mothership Core got taken out there, so he'll need a walk home if he does manage to.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go in there. The pros player always love to pick off a base, but if you go in there, you're probably not getting out too easily.
And all of a sudden, Apollo, we're seeing Jaedong with a supply lead and a worker lead as well. He is down. He wants to be an extra hatchery up from where he is right now. But you know what? He's stabilizing.
He is starting to stabilize. He's starting to get into rhythm a little bit now. He's got his Swarm Host down. He's up to 200 supply. Still, some kind of strike needs to happen from Jaedong onto MC. He still needs to do something.
Yeah, he still needs that cost-efficient fight that you were talking about. It needs to happen for him.
Swarm Host is the best unit in the game to do so.
Because that is cost efficiency, man. If you can kill stuff for free, that is always a good thing.
Units lost are pretty good here for Jaedong, who has been cost efficient from the early game, from his mistakes. Is starting to equalize this game a little bit as they both starting to bank a lot of money. And MC though, oh my gosh,
wow. That's almost disgusting.
I think that's off the hook, off the scale, disgusting.
Isn't it? All those street words, stuff that white people shouldn't use, but we do anyway.
Street yo.
A lot of spine calls going down here. Storm's going down on Corruptors. They are a very high hit point unit, though. They don't regen quite as quickly as the Muta, but still.
Yeah. Storm Host a little bit exposed there. They are going to pop out some more Locusts. I don't know if there's an Observer here.
He can storm them anyway.
Yeah, he doesn't have an Observer. He's just going to force field and get out. But Jaedong's trading quite well here.
He is. The one force field slightly off, and the Locusts are being funneled a little bit. But it's good for the Colossus. The Colossus can deal with funneled Locusts. They can't deal with Locusts from every single angle, though.
Look at the cost efficiency that Jaedong's getting. Units lost tab, probably heavily in Jaedong's favor. Wow. Again.
And he's still up 20 on supply. The units, look at that units lost tab. It is just getting better and better and better for Jaedong, and worse for MC as the game goes on.
Equal economy, better army, super good defense from Jaedong against MC's harass.
Yeah, Zergimba.
That's right, man. That's it, Zergimba.
Exactly. So we got a lot of, every single Zealot attack that MC has tried, every single one has failed. Every single one.
it looks like Jaedong is you know, kind of channeling the power of Stefano.
Yeah.
He was behind in this game, and then he said, Stefano, come in. And then Stefano says, build spores, build spines, build swarm hosts, and only defend. This is the way to beat MC. And then all of a sudden, look at what we have.
That's right. Viper's on the way as well, and this is indeed looking like that super long ZVP style, which a lot of Protoss complained about. They couldn't break it. They didn't know how to break it. Too much static D and too much free units.
Dude, Stefano just, you know, destroyed face at DreamHack against Protoss players when he was able to play like this. But there are weaknesses, though. There are holes. Stalkers on the right, Zealots in the main.
This is much better from MC. A double-pronged harass attack here, and before the Spinecrawler wall can get done, and he can actually not escape with the Zealots, but he can escape with the Stalkers if he's lucky. Where's Jaedong's army? Why isn't he dealing with this?
Well, it's almost, man. They are bloody slow.
They are indeed.
And they're finally making its way across here, but MC's doing pretty good for himself. He does now have, as you can see, base on the left-hand side. So he has been able to almost keep up with continuing to build units, right? He can lose units and, you know, with a 4th base and 5th base build units. That's sick analysis.
Macro is awesome, Apollo. I think that was the point of your spiel there, that it is very, very good. You have a lot of economy and a lot of production, and everything just comes straight back. It doesn't even afraid.
He has a lot of Void Rays coming in.
Yeah.
Void Rays are pretty good with Storm against Corruptors, and obviously fantastic against Swarm Hosts here.
Yeah.
We'll see if the Infestor's going to be good enough. A couple of feedbacks, ideal engagement for MC's feedbacks into Storm and Void Rays.
Oh, look at this flank of this, attack from behind from Jaedong.
Needs to pull these units in.
Yeah, this is going to be dangerous. And there goes the Colossi. Storm's on the Corruptors, but also on the Colossus as well. And 2 of them nearly go down. 1 goes down.
It's a lot of Void Rays though, man.
Yeah, Void Ray's still pretty good.
All right, let's see Jaedong down in supply at this moment. MC
they're very hurt Corruptors.
Breaking through here. DTs.
Yep, DTs, why not? They are tearing apart the Swarm Hosts, and MC
finally... Observers there, Swarm Hosts, see you later.
Oh my god.
Not quite good enough with the defense there, Jaedong. MC takes map number 1, and now we're in a position where Jaedong needs to win the next map. Otherwise, he is out of the Intel Extreme Masters in the round of 16.
He is, but you know what? I absolutely feel he can, because there was a lot of brilliance towards the last half of that game. When Jaedong collected himself, started to find his feet, stopped tripping over himself, he was starting to really put the screws and actually show fear in MC.
All right, Jaedong, not the best start to that game 1. Did start to, you know, kind of climb back in. But let's just say, as you pointed out, if Jaedong had got to that mid-game with the Swarm Host at an equal parallel game, if he was at that rate, would have been a lot different. He wouldn't have to be trying to play catch-up to a certain extent.
Absolutely.
And we'll see what happens to Jaedong on the next map. What does he choose? What strategy? Or is it going to be MC? You know, former 2-time GSL champion, most recent GSTL champion with LGIM in GSTL finals a week ago. Don't know who's going through, man. It's about to be decided in this best of 3.
Neither thing would surprise me in the slightest. For MC to go through or JD to come back. Neither would surprise me.
I don't know. It's, you know, these games that we've seen, this one and then Jaedong versus Hero, both fantastic games, and we'll see. I'm pretty sure it's going to continue on that same pattern. This is the last series of the day here from the Intel Extreme Masters Shanghai 2013 from Group C. Group D will begin tomorrow morning at 9 or 10 a.m. local time. It depends on, you know, scheduling and whatnot. I think it's 9, maybe 10, so you have to bear with us on that one.
Yep.
And then straight into the round of 8. Which one of these players will make it into the round of 8? We will find out. That's what we're here to do.
That's exactly. We are also here to present the result to you in a hopefully a fun and entertaining manner as well. In the top right, from Team Evil Geniuses, 1 game away from elimination from the Intel Extreme Masters in Shanghai, it is Jaedong.
Lee Jaedong, one of the finest, if not the best Brood War Zerg player to touch the game, and he's trying to make that happen here, but well, he needs to go into the round of 8, and he is playing up against a former 2-time GSL champion in the likes of SK Gaming's MC.
That's right.
Obviously not having the best of results for quite a long time. I mean, if we just look at MC as an individual who used to be that 2-time GSL champion, the last time he really made a big splash in a tournament, I mean, depends on what we call big splash. He got 4th at MLG at the start of the HOTS launch. Before that, let's say a final about a year ago, 12 months ago, and for the Obama toss, you know, that's not, you know, it's not what I expected.
No, not really. So I always love, like, it's really heartwarming for me to see a player that's fallen out of form pick himself back up again and really crush face. So I'd actually be very excited for MC to take out a name as big as Jaedong to restart his comeback trail.
I mean, both players are major names. You know, they're big names. If you know StarCraft or even don't know StarCraft, and you say, all right, do you know MC? Have you ever heard of the Obama toss?
Yep.
You're like, yeah, actually, yeah.
In StarCraft 2, yes. In Brood War, not so much, but he's made a name for himself, and he completely deserves the fame and respect that he has.
Did you know, we talk about MC's nicknames, Obama toss,
yep.
President, Protoss, whatever his nicknames are.
Yep.
Do you know what his nickname was in Brood War?
It was not very nice.
Suicide Toss.
Yeah.
Because
he had like a 2-9 or something.
He had a terrible win rate, but every time he'd play, his beginning ceremony would be the slit throat with his hands.
Ah, yeah.
You know, the same thing that he'd done to an Idra, you know, back then.
That's right.
And he lost every game, so they called him the Suicide Toss because he did that and just lost.
Yeah, that's right.
But Jaedong, I mean, if you put these two players against each other in Brood War, man, Jaedong, oh my gosh.
I do believe that if this was StarCraft 1 instead of StarCraft 2, there would be a severe backhand in the shape of Jaedong right across MC's cheek.
Yeah, a backhand or something else.
Or something else, that's right. a stamp of some description.
Yeah, you take what you want with the name Jaedong, right?
Yeah, the Dong. They call him that for a reason, guys. And girls.
So we do have this map here on Neoplanet S, game number 2. It is a nice map. It is a nice map.
I like the multiple attack paths and the golds in the middle. Always make for some pretty crazy and entertaining games. And crazy and entertaining is what I'm all about.
It's also very stressful for the player that's defending because he moves out with his army one side and then he gets attacked from the other. He doesn't really know which way the opponent's coming. So it is very important on a map like this, as you see in the middle of the map, the inner circle, the inner center. You need observers, you need overlords, you need lings, you need something to spot always.
Because that's all high ground around the middle there. You can hide things up there. It's like, you know, something you need to be careful of. And Jaedong, you know, can hide overlords and stuff like that up there, which MC won't be able to see, obviously. But, yeah. In the meantime, bit of a lull in the action. This is still PvZ, regardless of the expansion. It is quite featureless in the early game, unless there is cheese or craziness. Jaedong just having a look, keeping an eye on this wall. It's a very Wings of Liberty wall. It's actually, I was mentioning to Todd that when I played Protoss on this map, I found it hard to wall in that choke between the natural and the outside world on Neoplanet S.
It is difficult. You have to do it. You have to place your pylons precisely. There's no, all right, I'm going to put the pylon here and hopefully this makes a wall. Yeah. Because it won't. Or it makes a full wall.
Yeah.
So you have to be very careful with that.
Yeah, you don't want a full wall. But
neither big players have made any commitments to anything, apart from MC, who has got +1.
Yeah.
Jaedong got his gases down at 6 minutes, which is okay. It is a little bit late. It could have been a little bit early. 5:45 is comfortable. 6 minutes means later speed by what? 15 seconds? Seconds mean everything in a game like StarCraft. But with MC, +1 attack. What is he doing? He's got no gases. Is it a third or is it extra gateways?
I think we might be seeing it after this Overlord goes away, Apollo. I feel like he's going to try something pretty cheeky here.
Well, he's just throwing down the Nexus on his third. He had a pylon up, didn't he?
The pylon, a good indicator that he probably should be taking that Nexus.
It also could be a fake, though, so you can't just look at it nice and easy.
And MC is that guy that used to fake stuff. He'd make the Nexus and then cancel it, and then all of a sudden 7-gate all-in.
That guy was the pain for many a Zerg player back in the day, and not just if you played him, he influenced a lot of style.
He did, and that came on the ladder as well, which made me sad as a Zerg player at the time.
Made a lot of people sad, man. But layers first, before Zergling speed here, so it is a quite fast layer. Traditionally, Jaedong, or traditionally Zerg, do like to throw down the Hydralisk Den straight away from this fast layer.
Yep.
Hydra is just the best all-round unit, good versus gateway units, good versus Immortals and whatnot, great versus Stargate units. Does he have a Swarm Host plan, though?
Possibly. He is getting +1 ranged attack, which could be good for Swarm Host and for the Hydras, so it could lead into either. They both complement each other.
We'll see now as the layer does finish up. It's like now that he throws down the spy, I'm like, oh god damn it, Jaedong. But it should be the Hydro Den or the Infestation Pit, so there's the Hydro Den. But at this point, a very fast third from MC. He's wrapping it around with gateways, and we know MC, man, if it's not Blink, it's a mass gateway attack.
Yeah.
And his gateway account is rising.
It is. He just made 5 gateways while we were looking at that Hydro Den.
I mean, 3 there, you've got a couple more in the main base, 4 there, 7 in total, and then the 8th on the natural.
Yeah.
+1 attack is done, and there's no robotics facility, Twilight Council, any longevity in his game. It's just very stagnant at this point. It's just on gateway units.
Yeah, he's going to go straight up for a huge gateway attack. It's pretty obvious at this point. Infestation Pit going down for Jaedong, which is very helpful against gateway units. But, you know, if he has to go for Swarm Hosts, will he have them out in time? I feel like probably not.
Swarm Host is great. You know, he's got no observers, so it is really good. But that means he has to save and bank gas, which means the upgrade for the Enduring Locust. That means building the Locust, the Swarm Host, themselves. So I think the best possible way for Jaedong to deal with this attack is to just keep on building Hydras. Anything other than that is a commitment of resources, which he may not see the benefit from.
Look at all those sentries, man. MC he's already got 9 sentries in his army, and he's moving across with them now.
Jaedong's seen the gateways, though. He's seen it all. So he shouldn't invest in anything else other than units. He's seen it all.
And
so
he is.
He's 20 supply in the lead, but can he defend against the inevitable? He knows what's coming.
He just made 9 roaches, a few Hydras, +1, just about to finish for Jaedong. I'd like to see some static defense from him as well. I don't see any just yet, but just going to have to rely on units here.
All right, let's see if Jaedong's going to be able to control this well. Roaches at the front, Hydras at the back. How good are the force fields going to be? Time warp's also pretty important.
He's going to have about 1 million force fields, maybe 1,010,000.
I'd love that amount.
That's so many force fields, my god.
Here we go. It's about to begin. Time warp 1, time warp 2. Force fields coming down. Can he do it?
No Zealots at the front. They're actually a bit useless at the moment. The Hydras are doing good damage from the top. And Jaedong coming from the bottom as the force fields start to dissipate. And the Sentry's actually getting under siege as well. He's losing those precious force fields.
Oh, Big Daddy Dong's here. Big Daddy Dong is here, and he's pushing this one back. MC now forced to retreat off creep, losing his pylons, losing a lot. Yeah. And if you look at what MC had to sacrifice to push out this with this attack, no Colossus, no Stargate units, no Phoenixes to pick up the Hydras anymore. He has Blink on the way, but now Jaedong with +2 attack, the Infestation Pit coming down again, a little bit weird, a little bit of a mistake, double Infestation Pit, but you know, that's just like, all right, now it's time to tech up, now it's time to do this, now it's time to do that, which is the mentality you get in as a player, but he does cancel it, does realize, smart player.
Yeah. And there's the Swarm Host play again. A unit that can be very, very frustrating for Protoss and you know, or just mainly Protoss to deal with, as it's, I guess, more prevalent in ZVP than any other matchup. I have seen it in ZVT, but not so much, and I've seen it in ZVZ as well. And I got to say, you know, as legitimate as it can be, Swarm Host versus Swarm Host is kind of frustrating.
Yeah, and then with it's Swarm Host versus Swarm Host and Zerg versus Zerg with Roach Hydra is a game of tug of war.
Yeah,
it's like if one guy slips and he loses his footing, the other guy has an edge, but then all of a sudden he gets back up and pulls it back. It really does depend. Like, if you manage to kill a couple of Roaches or Hydras, that's the equivalent of some guy breaking on your tug-of-war team, because once that momentum starts to swing, oh boy, does it swing in Roach Hydra Swarm Host play.
That's right. Speaking of Roaches, we got these Zealots being swatted away from Jaedong. Jaedong actually doing a great job at swatting away MC this game so far. MC just looking for any hidden hatcheries. This is another good map for hidden hatcheries, or hidden bases.
Yeah, in the corners.
Right.
But that pylon going to be used for reinforcements. Does have a Dark Shrine on the way. That's MC's kind of way back into this game if he's able to pick up the full hatchery or something along those lines.
Interesting. Dark Shrine just finishing now for MC. Didn't get that warp in, but he's starting a warp prism. He's not done with the DTs. Yeah. He's going to have to make them work. And Aspire on the way for Jaedong on the other side of the fence.
Well, Jaedong definitely looking to tie this game up at this point. Is in quite a considerable lead.
Yeah, definitely.
He has the Hive on the way. He's got a lot of Swarm Hosts, as long as he doesn't mess up with them. Does have good creep spread to be able to move his Swarm Host back and forth quite easily. Some Zealots are breaking away from the main pack, the main army.
I like this Swarm Host. You bury, make a bunch of Locusts, then unburrow and use those Locusts as a buffer between your force movement. And, you know, these Locusts, he didn't expect them to make it very far or do much damage, but they're just a good buffer.
Yeah, no, they're so good, actually. So good.
And there's a nice blink there. He's going to be able to snipe this hatchery most likely, although Jaedong is pulling a lot of his units back from his attack to try and deal with it. Some static defense here, but that is a lot of zealots from MC.
Yeah, this third's not, gonna... Well, this fourth is down. The third's in a bit of pressure in that north situation there. It's a lot of zealots, and 2 bases going down. Well, MC didn't lose a base here, which is very questionable. He kept all his probes alive.
Yeah.
Jaedong coming back to defend without actually killing anything. And now units in the main base.
Oh.
Is Jaedong gonna lose his lead?
He is in he was in such a good spot, man. But yeah, he's lost that hatchery. The main is under siege still. He is on 2 base, and that's devastating when your Protoss is actually heading up to 4.
And now MC just needs to focus on one thing, and that's killing the army. If he kills the army of Jaedong, Jaedong does not have what it takes to rebuild. Not by being down by a couple of hatches at this point, or not least until he gets them back up and running.
That's
but
right.
Does MC have an army that can beat this? I don't think he can.
Possibly not. We've got some lurkers coming in, wailing on the production of MC, and they're going to go straight for the 3rd Nexus when they're done with that too. MC sending his forces around, trying to get something done here. Jaedong continuing the assault on the 3rd as he's, resuming that attack.
He's resuming that attack, but ideally he'd like the Colossus, which is why he's got 2 robotics facilities coming into play. DTs have been warped in though. We've got, Zealots at the north, DTs on this side.
And hatchery cancelled again, going down. These DTs can actually focus down that other hatchery again, putting Jaedong again on 2 base.
And even
no cancel.
No cancel. He does have 1,600 minerals, but at this point you need every mineral you can get. As MC keeps the pressure up, buying himself time. He's getting Colossus, which is how he can deal with the army of Jaedong.
Yeah, it's hard to deal with Swarm Hosts with just Blink Stalkers and Zealots. It's really just...
That's going to hurt though, as MC's running out of minerals and gas himself. He doesn't have that too much backed up in his main and natural, and especially gas.
Yeah, and this siege of these Swarm Hosts on the 3rd is starting to really break through and do serious damage to MC now.
Yeah, he's going to lose that 3rd Nexus if he's not too careful. His Colossus is starting to come out, but Thermalant's going to take a while. Jaedong may have got his opponent too far down, too far behind to recover, even though MC is having a valiant effort to do so.
Jaedong is up a lot of supply, Apollo. That's 70, around 70 advantage for Jaedong. His army supply is more than double the supply of MC's, and the 3rd Nexus does go down.
Yep, that's a big blow.
That's right, and now MC is in a spot of bother.
He doesn't have the gas income. He doesn't, Zealots aren't going to do much. 12 Zealots aren't going to do much at this point, so he needs gas to be able to build to use his minerals to build the Colossus.
Yeah, the Colossus is so important for him right now. If they go down, that is the game.
9 more drones coming in here for Jaedong, trying to get over towards establishing a 3rd base, so he's going to leave some units to make sure he can. But meanwhile, another attack here from Jaedong, suffocating MC's economy. He's preventing him from taking a 3rd. Swarm Host.
Swarm Host flank there. The Locust coming out just at the right time for Jaedong to get some good shots off. These probes!
It's going to hurt, and the base gets cancelled as well. Viper's coming in to deal with the Colossus. So even though MC's trying to build an army to deal with these Swarmos on this right-hand side here, Vipers are going to deal with the Colossus.
Time Warp's going down, making it a little bit hard to start a step for Jaedong, but looks like Jaedong just has too much. He's been playing so well this game, tearing through the forces of MC. A warp in from the top, though, going to flank him and dissipate him for now. But Jaedong is still not in a terrible spot.
Jaedong is not. Look at MC though. He's caught up a lot in supply though, isn't he? He's caught up a lot of those Roach Hydras.
And killing those hatcheries over and over has been great for him as well.
But still, 80 supply to 39. Jaedong contains MC away from expanding at this point, which is going to try and happen again. Yeah. But with the addition of Vipers.
These Colossus were looking for the Swarm Hosts. And yeah, like you said, the Vipers are on the map now, which is very, very dangerous for MC. Once, well, it will be dangerous when Jaedong has a bit more of a ground army. 16 Roaches, not that impressive.
Yeah, I mean, with the Vipers coming up to full energy, that's going to be a little bit difficult to deal with. Absolutely. On full energy, they pretty much have 2 abducts each, 4, which is the full Colossus.
Jaedong's going to be feeling pretty good at this point with his army composition and the fights that he's been having with MC. He's seen what MC has, and yeah, I think he's feeling pretty good.
All right, let's find out though. Does MC's army warrant a place in the round of 8?
We'll have to wait and see. All MC needs to do is get a really good engagement here, take out these Swarm Hosts, and he will be looking at round of 8. But that's it though. Oh, the get over here, the Scorpion maneuver, and two Colossus go down for absolutely free.
Yeah, and well, the others are getting chased as well. One gets picked up, and that's going to fall down as well as the second as well. So that's 3 in total, almost a 4.
And there's the 4th going down, nearly down from the Roaches going up near the front.
Yeah, the DTs and Zealots really caught Jaedong off guard there, but more and more units coming in. Jaedong just needs to go back, get more energy on his Vipers, and come in again.
Yeah. MC actually needs to be careful. Those Locusts surprisingly strong.
I mean, MC's trying to get a base up at the bottom here, the 6 o'clock base.
Yeah.
But Jaedong, being the player he is just going to send a couple of units down to that 6 o'clock base, just to make sure that MC doesn't have an easy time getting up another Nexus to be able to mine from, while keeping the pressure on. Whoop.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Oh.
If that only a couple more seconds.
If only.
Oh, no. That's the main army, though.
Oh my god, losing a lot of swarm hosts here. The Roaches do arrive just in the nick of time to save a lot of them.
Oh, that was a bit intense there for Jaedong, but he is going to pick up the last couple of Colossus. And with the last couple of Colossus coming down, there is nothing to protect this Nexus. Yeah,
there's some feedbacks on the Vipers, which is nice. And he has a DT as well, but that is a dead Nexus, and he has lost the backbone of his forces. The Colossus are dead.
And now MC's in trouble. He's got no income, really. He's got that south base, but that's only been able to afford an assimilator and a pylon. Jaedong really increasing the heart rate of all his fans worldwide at this point, because if he'd lost this game, if he'd made a mistake, he would have been out.
Look at that army supply. I think that Jaedong's fans are starting to get wiggly and jiggly in their chairs, maybe flipping them up and down. They're going to be feeling pretty good right now, and looking like he's going to tie the series. Definitely on the cusp of tying the series, and keeping his round of 8 dream alive.
Yeah, Jaedong's going to move into this, and it is going to be a GG called out from MC. Jaedong ties the series up, and we will go to the all-important decider.
Yes,
one game to decide who is through and who is out between these two players.
And it comes down to the 3rd game. How poetic.
How poetic.
It's stressful, it's exciting, it's everything at once.
It is everything at once.
Except disappointing. It is not that.
One player moves to the round of 8. One player is out of the Intel Extreme Masters in the first round of the tournament. I guess we can say MC's second round because he played through the qualifiers. Jaedong was seeded into the round of 16. But of the main Intel Extreme Masters tournament, a 16-player, 4-group stage tournament, one of these players is being knocked out here.
Sad but exciting. The show must go on.
The show must go on, and who is moving on with the show? It's going to be a good one. The next map is Korean and Chinese, so I'll get to you in a minute. It is Star Station, a map not too favored by Protoss players worldwide. But if anybody's going to be able to break down the Star Station with an aggressive play, if that's what the case, if that's how the strategy is going to come out, it's SKMC.
I always found it kind of odd how Star Station isn't that Protoss favored, even though it's a Protoss tile map.
Yeah, it's their color, right?
It's their map, but it's not their map. Anyway, in the top left here of Star Station, we have got the EG Zerg tying the series 1-1. It is Jaedong.
And if Jaedong's able to beat out this group, I fear that he could do dangerous things in this tournament.
Yes, terrible, but great. In the bottom right here, from SK Gaming, this is MC. Both these players with an insane amount of fans.
Yeah, both of them. You know, major fans. Everybody wants to see both of these players do well, but today only one will have that opportunity to continue their legacy in the Intel Extreme Masters Season 8.
That's right, guys. Get on Twitter, get on Facebook's hashtag IEM. Let them know you're watching the Intel Extreme Masters in Shanghai, and let us know who you think, whether or not Jaedong or MC is going to come through. Show some love to your favorite player, guys, because it may be your last chance.
It's an intense game here.
Right.
It's going to be, is it going to be a short one or is it going to be a long one?
Well, the first game and the second game lead me to believe that it probably will be lengthy.
And for all of you viewers online now, waking up in Europe,
yep,
still awake in America, and of course enjoying yourselves in Australia.
Yep, enjoying that afternoon sun in the winter of Australia, where I'm sure it's a very pleasant 20-odd degrees.
Yeah.
And I'm very jealous of your temperature.
And to all of you guys, this is the last game. This is the last map of Day 2. Day 3 will be starting with Group D, which is the group with the Australian. I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to be doing it.
Yep, perfect time zone for you guys.
That.
So I expect to see a lot of Aussies in the chat tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to getting a couple of chants down with you.
Yes,
We'll be doing the good old Aussie. tomorrow.
Boys. Yes. If Argus is on stream, I hope he is.
Depends on how well he does.
Depends indeed. He's got a tall order. But anyway, that is neither here nor there, because right now, right here, Jaedong versus MC hitting each other up. Very standard ZVP opening here. We're getting Jaedong going for the hatchery after the pull. So safe, standard, no speed link span, nothing crazy like that. He's not taking any huge risks. Neither player is. In fact, both players are doing the opposite of risks right now, Apollo.
Yeah, they're just setting themselves up in a standard game. Like, this is a very normal textbook opening, you could say.
Yeah.
With both players just going to the norm, the all-round complete builds for both races. For anybody that's seen StarCraft 2 before, you should start to recognize this. For example, in Wings of Liberty, these were the builds every game for a very, very long time. It is a little bit different in Heart of the Swarm, but it still comes out a lot. Just Forge or Nexus play into getting the Gateway Cybernetics core into your tech, compared to Jaedong here, who again should be looking and aiming towards just focusing heavily on drones, queens, and overlords, just minerals only, until around the 545 to 615 is the range when you actually add on your gases, 2 at once, which is when Jaedong can start to make decisions of his own on what he wants to do.
Exactly. You are wise with the ways of StarCraft, my friend. As one would hope.
As one would hope.
That's right.
And hopefully do justice to these two players on what their strategies are.
Yes.
Pick them apart and be able to read into what they're thinking.
Got to get into their brain, think like they do, which is tough because their brains are big and sexy.
Big and sexy.
Full of builds.
Full of builds.
Full of micro mechanics.
Full of ideas.
Yep.
Not only in StarCraft.
Yeah, but outside as well. Both of them actually quite successful outside of the game.
Yeah.
Just from being amazing personalities.
Yep. Great individuals.
Yep.
But it is nearing the time where we start to see the decisions made. Jaedong's setting up overlords. One on the natural, one floating just outside the main base to try and find out exactly what's going on. +1 attack is the first thing researched here by MC. If, you know, history repeats itself and patterns are true, and this is meant to be a third Nexus on one of the most risky maps to do so, to face Zerg aggression on.
And Jaedong's in a good position to know when that third Nexus goes down as well. He's got a well-placed Overlord to the north of the main, which is generally where it's taken. The one to the left is very far away, hard to defend. I mean, you have the warp ins, you have stuff like that, those mechanics as a Protoss, but it is kind of a bad spot for a base. You generally want it to the north.
Yeah, I mean, Jaedong's actually set up beautifully with the Overlords. The Overlord on the natural sees no gases, and as mentioned in the previous cast, no gases means either a 2-base attack, because it increases your minerals so high you can throw down a bunch of gateways, or a third Nexus.
And here comes the third
Jaedong
Nexus.
sees no gases, so he's like, alright, it's going to be gateways or Nexus. So with the other Overlord, says, oh, okay, it's a Nexus, and now has the information as fast as you could get it.
That's right. Great plays from Jaedong so far. It doesn't look impressive, guys, but we promise you this Overlord stuff is actually quite cool. He's noticed those 3 Nexuses, Nexi, Nexuses, the plural of Nexus, and Jaedong preparing accordingly, getting a Roach Warren up.
But, oh, I was just going to say, but no lair, but no, okay, there's a lair. So I was going to say, but no lair, so I thought maybe it would be only Roach Ling. I still think it could be. But with 12 drones coming in, that really says he wants to push himself economically further ahead and keep up with MC. Double Evolution Chamber. Are we going to see Zerglings upgrade? Because he'll upgrade +1 Carapace anyway. But is it melee for Zerglings heavy, which we saw against Hero? Or is it a missile attack to focus on a Roach Hydra play to hopefully overpower the third base? What is the choice here from Jaedong as the Evolution Chamber is complete? There's the Carapace. Missile attacks.
Okay, alright.
Alright, man. We're going to see a heavy power play coming from Jaedong. So lots of Roaches, lots of Hydras. We should see the Hydralist then come down. And eventually maybe going over to Swarm Host play. Just the perfect connection of all those units. But heavy economy, 4th base down.
Very heavy economy. And Macro Hatch going down as well as a 4th hatchery, as you mentioned. And MC, conversely, going for four more gateways in the main. Just beefing up his production a little bit here.
But, you know, even though Jaedong's focusing on pushing himself further in the game, he is investing a lot in upgrades in the Hydra Den, in Roach speed, in Zergling speed. All these upgrades, 4 upgrades at once as you see on screen, and the Infestation Pit. But MC is up to 8 gateways again. Twilight Counts are coming down a little bit faster than last time, but he's going to increase his unit count quite rapidly. He's already on 7 sentries. the longer the game goes on, the better it is for Jaedong. If you look at MC, he's only at +1 attack. Jaedong has 2 evolution chambers. He'll have 1-1 soon, then 2-2. He'll have Hydra soon. So MC's best chance is probably the faster he moves out here if he wants to go for an attack. But a second Forge, he's not going to attack.
And speaking of attacking, 16 roaches and 18 lings on the way for Jaedong. I'm thinking like you might want to try and put some damage onto MC here. I don't think that's completely defensive, Apollo, especially with 32 lings.
Jaedong has 5 hatcheries already. He's on 4 bases, but 5 hatcheries. The Swarm Host upgrade coming in, the Enduring Locust to increase the duration of the Locust on the battlefield. And 2-2 is going to begin soon. And you know, Jaedong's powered himself up very strong. And when I say the term power, is that he didn't build any units. He built only economy, only upgrades, and now is in a position where he can do nothing but power through with a very strong army, which is what he's going to start doing any second now with the Swarm Hosts or Hydras, either one.
That's right. Both of them will benefit from the upgrades. And there we go. We see 3 Swarm Hosts on the way, Groove Spines on the way, so no doubt Hydras also to follow soon. Some...
in the middle of the map here. Look at this. Zerglings get us good surrounds. Force fields used in plenty. One of the weaknesses of this map as a Protoss player. Look how many force fields are used.
Yeah, it was like 12 force fields just to keep that small army of Zerg away.
And now he doesn't have any. Blink isn't ready. Roach speed is.
Uh-oh. There's the Nexus Cannon going down on the 3rd. Jaedong's going to try and snipe some sentries and probably go home. And he does get all the sentries here and just bugs out.
Yeah, he picks off all the sentries and says, all right, thanks for expending all your force field energy, and now come in and pick off all the sentries. And that's a good win there, because if MC wants them back, he's going to have to spend gas on sentries, not Colossus, for example. So he's not going to have any crowd control, as you say in MOBA games and big games. He won't be able to split Jaedong's army down at all. But he's going to play very strong because he's going to have pure Stalkers, pure Colossus. He's just one attack. He doesn't want to cut the army because he's going to be too powerful anyway.
And here are the Stalkers. They do have Blink now, and Swarm Hosts making sure they keep away from a 3rd. You don't want to have to deal with those Locusts. They are quite fast on the creep.
All right, 5 extra gateways, 2nd robotics facility coming in, Stalker, Colossus, and a bunch of random Zealots at the front here. MC just looking to build a very powerful army, just one army that can kind of do everything. Yep. Just move in and kind of death ball it through,
and
right?
With this much production, it does feel like it's going to be one army. Like he doesn't have a next step, I think. This is what he wants to kill with.
And that is always good against Swarm Host, because if you are able to get momentum with that big attack, then there's no Locust and maybe you can jump on top of the Swarm Hosts. So not all is lost here for SK Gaming MC. But Jaedong does have a supply lead with the Hive on the way. Aspire 2 is timed up nicely to go over towards the Great Aspire, towards Broodlords, to add into the combination of units he already has out.
Those Zealots getting swatted away. Too many Hydras and Roaches. They actually evaporated. That's how fast they died. Warp Prism heading up towards the top there. No units in tow, but it will pick up some Zealots down by the pylon.
Yeah. Jaedong's very weak behind enemy lines. Well, I guess Jaedong's weak behind allied lines because it's his own lines.
Yeah.
There's no spores, there's no spines. Only just now 8 spines coming in. I'm not sure if they're in the main base or around the middle or.
Yeah.
Look at that, naked. That's where the spire is as well.
Spine's going down at that base there, but not at the back. So he's got a fence at the front, but no backyard fence, Apollo.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's a large blink here. He's going to cancel. No, doesn't cancel, just snipes the hatch straight out. And these Zealots with charge. Will they take this hatchery down before Jaedong can deal with it? It's going to be pretty close.
They have +2 attack. They're doing a lot of damage.
Oh, they're going to get it.
Nice.
Wow. And in one fell swoop, MC has taken away 2 hatcheries from Jaedong.
Nice play there. As he does try to do something towards this base. Not going to happen.
Not too much defense from Jaedong. He's going to swat this away. MC looking like he's moving up with a lot of Blink Stalkers, but the Swarm Hosts say no. And that'll be that. So
that's a good delaying tactic though, right? It slowed Jaedong down from getting where he wants to be. He's at the Hive, but he hasn't really chosen to do anything with that yet. Oh, I suppose he's getting the Vipers in, sorry, excuse me, with 3 more just popping out, or 3 initially popping out.
Yep.
But MC needs to keep the harass up, whether it be Blink Stalkers picking off the base that was on the 9 o'clock, or whether it be the Warp Prism getting into the main base. This is Star Station. One of the disadvantages as a Protoss player against Terrans is Medivac use, because there is such a large air radius outside the main natural, and that's definitely can be utilized here for MC.
And it looks like Jaedong is preparing for Colossi. He's getting that +1 air attack. and he's also 3-3 on the way for the ranged units on the ground as well. Storm on the way, conversely for MC. He's going to be having that splash damage. Oh, he's going to have maximum splash damage with those Colossus and the Templar as well.
Picks off an Overseer there. Could make DT strong on the left-hand side, as we do have Zealots trying to make their through the spines. That's not going to happen here.
No, too much defense there from Jaedong. And he is blinking ahead, going to take out one of the macro hatches. Wants to get a couple of Vipers. Blinding Cloud, though, saves the Vipers from the Blink Stalkers.
Jaedong is in a rough spot. I mean, he's doing good, but he's being thrown around a lot here by MC, who's now taking a 4th base. MC does lose a lot, though.
Yeah,
MC does lose a lot.
Losing those 2 Colossus was actually really bad for MC, but...
especially because his 4th isn't that fast. It could have been faster, I feel.
Yeah.
But remember, the winner of this game is through to the round of 8. It's currently 1 apiece. Is it EG's Jaedong? Is it SKMC that will move on?
We got MC's army heading back to a more defensible location. It looks like he wants to actually try and... Yeah, he's going to be in a lot of siege here. He's going to lose a few cannons.
Nice play.
Yeah, very nice from Jaedong.
Being able to kill a couple of Zealots there, put pressure on this 4th base off MC, while MC does get the Warp Prism into the natural. Again, he's heading towards the main base. No spores, no spines. Yep. I think that's crucial here. Crucial that Jaedong doesn't have it. With the immobility that he has, especially if he's using his roaches aggressively.
Oh, if he can get some infestors, that would be nice. But he is actually going to start wailing around.
MC's pulling his main army into the main army into the main. But look at this. He's moving towards that base on the right.
He is, and that's where all the spines are, and if all those spines go down, that's going to leave it open for MC to follow up. He's got a lot of production. He's got a lot of Templar feed backing all the things. Storm's going down, and yeah, a lot of splash damage still untouched. The back still got 4 Colossi. Blink Stalkers at the front still with a lot of hit points.
C's breaking through here. He may be able to get towards this hatchery. This could be pretty bad for Jaedong, who's still having to deal with that War Prism in the main base. Viper comes in, 1 Colossus gets ripped across.
Yep.
And the Roaches are coming in now.
Absolutely. The Roaches and the Swarm Hosts will need to culminate together to push this army back.
The Swarm Hosts.
Oh, they're under siege. Laser beams cutting through a lot of them. Blink Stalkers reinforcing from MC. Another Colossus joins the battle to take the place of his fallen brother. And the Corruptors are coming out, but they're not making a difference yet.
The Observer does fall down, though. It falls down on the left-hand side. Colossus and Stalkers are just going to fight against Roaches and Corruptors. Another one gets ripped forward, but the base of the north has fallen. More Colossus are getting ripped in, and more Roaches are popping. Is Jaedong going to be able to make the maintain here? Is he going to be able to hold this position? A lot of Blink Stalkers with fantastic upgrades here. MC backs off, but he does have a 4th down. The Dark Shrine, I thought I saw that a little bit earlier on, but it is now on.
Yeah, there was a Dark Shrine made before, I'm pretty sure.
But Jaedong is hurting. He's lost a lot of bases. MC's probably got a bit of a better income. Remember, though, that the bank, look at the top right.
Yeah.
3,000 minerals.
It's a lot of lings if Jaedong wants them. But, you know, I think he's going to try and get those hatcheries and spine crawlers up again. He wants to just keep holding against this Protoss force. If Protoss keeps headbutting against free units and static defense, that's what the Zerg wants.
All right, well, MC taking another base down the bottom. Jaedong is starting to bleed out with resources. Was that attack, was that army good enough for MC to give him what it needs to move on here? Or is Jaedong going to be able to start to siege onto this mining base of MC to try to break through?
He's starting to take a few things out with these Swarm Hosts. Going to get a couple Stalkers here before they dissipate. Oh, nice move from MC, sending those Zealots over to get that new building hatchery.
Every time, Jaedong's biggest weakness, I say in this series, is his lack of static defense.
Even though he had a ton of it, it was just not in a spot to be able to help him against the Warp Prism drops. And MC identified this weakness, and he's been using it. Great storms from MC on the Roaches of Jaedong. Can pull back, though.
4 more Swarm Hosts coming in. He's got to be careful not to lose the high ground here, Jaedong, that is, as the Observer does move forward. Roaches are falling fast.
Observer gone again, Apollo.
Oh, there is another one here.
On the right. Sweet.
He's got to be careful. Sweet, man. He's got to be careful because of Swarm Hosts. Zealots on the left-hand side. Swarm Hosts are exposed. Where is that blinking Observer? It may have gone down here, but no. The Swarm Hosts are dying. There is the Observer. The Swarm Hosts are down. MC breaks through one more time. Jaedong still with a supply lead, but a lot in Roaches. Roaches aren't that good in the later stages. Stalker's probably better with Blink.
Yeah. He's making 10 Roaches now to try and replenish his numbers. But we still have quite a few Blink Stalkers with MC on the wheel as well. And if he keeps blinking, you are going to be in trouble. This guy has got Blink Macro up to wazoo. But Jaedong He's been pulling miracles out, man, in these series. Can he hold? Can he start to push back? I don't know.
These Roaches are at 3-3 as well, but Roaches just aren't that good here. They're expensive, or not really expensive, expensive for this type of game. They're high in supply, and with Colossus and Archons and Stalkers coming in, MC is taking the lead. He's going to push down here, and if he breaks this base one more time, it looks like SKMC will be the one to move on. Jaedong has to defend this.
No spine crawlers, Apollo. Here he comes with all these Roaches. This is his last time to defend.
Colossus!
Oh, he's going to get one. And a second.
Oh, the Colossus is down now. Is it going to be Roaches? Are Roaches and Hydras going to be enough? MC drops in supply, and without force fields to be able to split up this army here, Jaedong takes the army supply 170. How the hell is he doing this?
Somehow, someway, Jaedong is in a huge lead at the moment in army supply and in supply in general, putting the fight back to MC.
I didn't think this would be possible with just Roach and Hydras, man, but he is making it possible. He cancels the High Templar. The Colossus coming down as well, and well, see you later. And now it's MC's base that's exposed.
That's right, and MC, just like Jaedong, can't lose next side. He just
no,
can't.
Man, not at this stage of the game. It's 25 minutes in the game. Income is so valuable.
Oh, and it's going to go down. He's got nothing. These Hydras are way at the back. The Zealot's not going to get there in time. Down it goes.
Jaedong brings the hurt, the pain to MC, bringing down that Nexus on the right-hand side. There is another one down the bottom, but that, if he had both Nexus up and running, that's where MC would find comfortability with his income, to be able to build the right army to beat Jaedong. But now with no mining base in the main natural third, as you can see.
So dry, man.
An attempt to re-establish this hatchery, this Nexus, sorry, as well as Jaedong.
Jaedong. This is one of those...
Jaedong doesn't even have a mining hatchery, man. He's only just got this up and running. That's the only one now.
This is a bare knuckle fist fight. This is exactly what this is. Both players beaten, bloody and bruised on the ground, just trying to take the final blow to each other, but who's going to land it?
All right, Zerglings come down here. He will bring down this pylon, and that means no cannons. And even Roach Hydra's come down in another Nexus exposed.
Oh my god, and his army's completely out of position. Here he comes. Will it be in time? I don't think so.
Oh no, Jaedong's going to be able to pick off that Nexus and move out.
And so many probes. MC completely out of position there, and I feel like MC's rapidly running out of options.
Look at the amount of units killed in this game. 219 to Jaedong, 250 for MC. Jaedong is coming back to defend this. 3 Colossus, 2 Archons, and just a lonely couple of High Templar.
Is MC just going to go for it? Does he have to?
16 more Hydras. Oh, the Colossus
completely naked.
Jaedong! Oh, what? He's not going for it. Oh my gosh.
He thought about it a little bit too much there. Just needed to go on those Colossus. They were completely naked. There's the pull on the Colossi. No units at the top of the finish line.
Oh my god, MC, what a fight! What a fight from SKMC! He just brought down everything, and the Colossus remained. The Vipers pulled the Colossus into nothing. Oh my god, what are we seeing here? An incredible back and forth game. Is MC, now is he in the position to do this?
Oh my god, and 5 Roaches more on the way for Jaedong. The production tab's so small right now, it's basically non-existent. Both players have almost nothing left for each other. Zealots and High Templars being warped in by MC. These Vipers are just eating an extractor.
Oh, I think MC could be able to do it. That's the mining base, the only mining base of Jaedong at this point. Zealots and Archons starting to regenerate there.
And the last Warhost goes down. Only Roaches, pure Roach left for Jaedong. MC still has Archons and a Colossus. One of the Archons, 1 hit from death, but these 2 at the front have been so important for him.
I can't help, even drones coming off. This could be the last stand of Jaedong. It looks like MC with Time Warp coming down as well. MC, despite all odds here of what we saw this game and how it developed, is pushing Jaedong back. He's got no money, he's got only a handful of Roaches. Transfuse is the last possible thing that he could hold on to.
And he's running out of stuff to transfuse Apollo. He's got all his energy, but he's got nothing to heal.
Oh dearie me, Jaedong, one disastrous collateral fight. I cannot stress how bad that fight was at the Xel'Naga Tower. Everything has just dropped. Everything. I'm sure Jaedong is shaking his head right now because MC will knock out Jaedong from this position. 43 supply.
Yep, he's up 80 supply. That is it, man.
64 to 18.
That's
what
right.
A series. GG. MC.
That best of 3 was the best of 3 of today. That was my favorite best of 3. That was incredible.
That was intense. Unfortunately, Jaedong couldn't break his Achilles heel. He couldn't get past it. Protoss lost versus Hero in the winner's match to advance from the group. Loses versus MC and is knocked out of the tournament. It is MC, that moves on alongside Hero.
Which means Jaedong goes home, but again, those flashes of brilliance that I keep bringing up Apollo, I see them in Jaedong, and I think that he's going to figure it out. It's just a matter of time. He was very, very close in pretty much every game against MC.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at Jaedong's last week, he was in Sweden playing at DreamHack. He came back to Korea, practiced a little bit, not a lot. And then now he's having to play in China. Very little middle time, very little growth and development for his Zerg versus Protoss. And of course, he was even playing WCS America in between all that as well. So hasn't had time, unfortunately. MC, though, you know, has had a bit more time. He's starting to bring in results which warrant that name, SKMC.
That's right. So we will be seeing him tomorrow.
That's right.
And guys, speaking of tomorrow, we would like to see you again. Tomorrow's game's 9 a.m. local time, probably between 9 and 10. We want to see bums on seats, everybody on your computer with that stream open.
That's
for
right.
Intel Extreme Masters Shanghai to continue.
That's right. Group D will begin the day with Hyun, Pult, the Australian, Igers. Guys, did I say that right? Igers,
that's the one.
Igers. And that's going to be a pretty cool group alongside Daisy as well. We'll cover Group D, and then as soon as we cover Group D, immediately into the quarterfinals where it gets intense, man. It
gets so intense. The top 8, the best 8 here at Intel Extreme Masters out of a really scary player pool. So the games just get better.
It's going to be good and good and good. I hope you've enjoyed your second day here in China. It's been hot, it's been fun, but it's been good. And I'll hopefully see you guys tomorrow as well. Thank you to the sponsors as well, BenQ, Raidcall, and HyperX. And of course, Intel. This is the Intel Extreme Masters, the conclusion of day 2. We will see you on day 3.